I'm joined here today by the one, the only, you know who I'm talking about, of course, Youssef Zalal, set to fight for what seems like the 17th time in 2020, taking on Seung Woo Choi at UFC Fight Island. What's going on, man? How are you?
What's up, brother? How you doing?
I'm doing well, man. Thank you for asking. Man, it seems surprising to think like this is your first time going to Fight Island. Like it feels like you must have already fought there. With how many times you fought during the pandemic?
Oh man, it's crazy. I was like, I gotta do like so many quarantine and so much stuff like that. So it's gonna be very interesting for me. I've never done that. I'm pretty excited though. It's like as a kid, you always wanted like traveled with these guys to Australia and stuff like that. But it was never me fighting. It was my teammates fighting. So this is a pretty cool experience for me.
I mean, you fought so much during the pandemic. I'm sure you must have the record of like the most COVID tests, right? Like I'm sure you've done what nose, throat, like everything we can think of at this point.
I haven't done the nose one so far, so I'm not
Ah,
about that. But I've done a lot of testing for sure. I think I'm like 11 something right now. We're like 12 COVID tests right now, to be honest.
I'm sure it must feel good though, because when it comes back negative, like you know this whole time that you know like you're clean and you're good to go and you don't really have to worry as much.
Yeah, true, man, but it's still scary. Like
Right.
one test can end the fight. You'd be like, oh, you can't fight.
Yeah. And so you're set to go to UFC Fight Island. Obviously, it's a bit of a unique experience, right? What was kind of your reaction when your manager came to you, told you you're gonna fight on the mystical Fight Island?
Man, I was just excited. I was like, oh, like in my mind, I was like, holy shit, I'm actually fighting in Abu Dhabi. It's pretty cool, and it's pretty close to home, to Morocco. So it's pretty cool to kind of fight in front of the Arab community and stuff like that.
And so you're going to be having a very long flight to get there, but it sounds like the UFC is hooking you guys up with first class and all that good stuff. Are you ready for that flight?
Man, I'll be like, I don't even know what's that first class look like. I've seen
Oh yeah.
first class in my life, so it's gonna be interesting for me. But yeah, man, it is what it is. It's 16 hours, but I got show movies and stuff like that to kind of watch. So kind of give me out a little bit. Hopefully, I can sleep throughout the flight. So hopefully that works.
Yeah, I was gonna say I'm not your best source for how first class looks like because I've walked past it and looked at people like, oh, you motherfuckers, like I want to be there, and that's the closest I've gotten.
I mean, I walked through like United first class, but
Yeah,
I heard this first class is completely different. So that's what's it's crazy about it. And I was like, oh god, like you guys are not playing.
yeah, because you get your own cabin. I don't know if you guys have a shower, but it sounds like this is like a level above like United and all that other stuff.
Man, I can't complain about that. I tell you
Right.
that.
But so the big thing about Fight Island is obviously, I mean, you're over there and you're sort of quarantining and stuff for the fights. Are you worried at all about the boredoms? I've heard some fighters they kind of struggle with that a little bit.
Not really, man. It's what it is. I can call my teammates. I'm bringing my Xbox with me and stuff like that. So it is what it is. It's gotta deal with it. There's like a mat inside gym and like stuff like that, so you can do like maybe little workouts and stuff like that. But that's pretty much it. You can't do that much besides just wait. To be honest.
So you mentioned the Xbox. What games are we talking here on Fight Island?
Man, I got UFC 4. I got Call of Duty. I got a lot of stuff. So I'm excited to kind of just relax and chill. After all the work is almost done.
So I haven't gotten a chance to play UFC 4, but I heard some complaints about like the fact they were having ads in the middle of the fight and things like that. Some people didn't like the gameplay. What's kind of your quick review? Are you enjoying it so far?
Actually, like I think I played like just the when I started the game, they give you this little thing to start with, but
Yeah.
that's pretty much it. I play the actual like live with like people and stuff like that. So I can't really. I'm more of Call of Duty. I just play Call of Duty
Yeah.
all day.
Oh yeah, so you're being smart about it. Like you're saving it for Fight Island. Like that's gonna be the experience. Like you got the time to discover the game at that point.
Yeah, exactly. Like I said, man, I'm going to Vegas for 2 days quarantine and Abu Dhabi 2 days. So I got 4 days to kind of figure out whatever I want. To be honest.
That's right. Are you worried at all about the quarantining? Because I mean, it sounds like 4 days doesn't sound like a lot, but just sitting in a hotel room, like it's got to weigh on you a little bit.
Yeah, man, it probably will, but you just got to deal with it. We're professionals.
And so let's talk about your opponent a little bit. You're obviously taking on Choi. What was kind of your reaction when sort of your management came to you and told you that's the opponent that was next for you?
Man, I was just pretty excited. I get to fight a pretty good kickboxer. It's been doing kickboxing since I don't know how long, and it's brings out the heat. So for me, it's very excited to see guys like that really fight those guys like that.
And so were you disappointed not to get a little bit of a bigger name opponent? Because it seemed like after your last fight, like you were in a good position for potentially, people were talking about ranked contenders and stuff like that. Were you disappointed at all, or were you just happy to fight?
I don't care, man. Rankings will come in. As long as you keep winning and start doing what you need to do. It's coming. We don't ain't no rush. It's like as long as you keep winning and really going out there and doing your thing, everything will come to you.
And so last time we talked, you were supposed to get a segment on a sports channel in Morocco. I think they were making like a documentary on you and stuff like that. Has it come out since we last talked?
Yeah, they did like a 2 segment thing for me, like after I won and then before I fought. So it was like a pretty cool little 9-minute video and stuff like that. So it's pretty dope. It's pretty awesome, man.
What was the reaction from everybody when they saw it? Like, I assume you must have won over some new fans, especially from your home country as well.
Oh yeah, man. Those guys are nonstop. They are going every time now and on. Especially after they seen it on the sports TV back in Morocco. So it's pretty cool to kind of experience that with all the fans and my family and stuff like that.
Well, does that put a little bit of extra pressure on you now? Because people are gonna look at you kind of like you're representing that country now, right? Like every time you get into the cage, like the people from Morocco, they're gonna be looking at you like you're representing everybody. Is that any extra pressure on you?
Not really, man. It's like I'm glad, I'm happy that I'm representing my people, my country. It tells me that there is hope and there's opportunities for Moroccans and all this stuff. For me, it's actually extra motivation, to be honest. I really get to show that I really have a whole country and really to go out there and do what I do best and bring other opportunities for other people.
And so last time we saw you fight was obviously Peter Barrett. It was an extremely well-rounded performance, and it seemed like you got really everybody talking about you after that one. What was your reaction when you got back on social media? Like, what kind of stuff did you see from people?
I just everybody's talking about the spinning kick, and they kept talking about cracks and all that. It's the usual, man. A lot of people just loved it, and I loved it, man. It was an awesome fight, and can't like it's the one of the best feelings, to go out there and just really have fun. It's like I can care less about the win and everything else. All I cared about was like that fight. I had a lot of fun, and that's me. That's me on a fight.
And you did mention the spinning kick. Were you surprised he was able to eat that? Like, I think everybody kind of expected, like, that's it, it's over. I mean, what was your reaction, like, in real time when you're sort of processing what's going on?
Oh man, I was going through so much emotions that fight. I was like 10 seconds. I was like, oh my god, this is about to be my first fight, first UFC finish, and all this and that. It was insane. But man, it was like I seen it after I watched it. I was like, oh my god, this guy has a jaw on him. Oh my god, I couldn't believe it. I couldn't believe myself.
So you mentioned the first UFC finish. Do you feel any kind of, I don't want to say pressure, but do you sort of have that expectation with yourself? Like, I'm sure you're looking to get that first UFC finish. Does that add anything extra for you at this point?
No, man. Like I said, I have a great team and great people around me, man. It's like just keep doing me, man. Keep having fun, and I said like we don't need to rush anything. Everything will come to us.
And so has this period during the quarantine, all these fights you're taking, I assume for your UFC career, it must have done a great job in terms of getting your name out there, but also having a good relationship with the UFC, right? Because you're showing that you're available and you're taking all these fights. Like, this must have been a very beneficial period for you in your career.
Oh man, it's the best thing that happened in my life. It's like for me to get to change my life and my family's life and really make best of opportunities. A lot of guys are, especially during these days, pandemics and all that stuff. Like there's no jobs and barely there's jobs and barely to do anything. So for me to do what I love and really get paid for it and just change my life, that's like the best thing that happened to me. So I can't complain about that, man. I feel like super grateful and super blessed for that.
And so getting back to this matchup against Choi, I mean, what are your thoughts on your opponent as you head into this one?
like I said, man, he's a very like one just straight kickboxing. You know, there's not a whole lot. It's like he's hard to take down, and he gets up right away. But he's a straight kickboxer. Just kind of just bring the dog out of everybody else. You know, it's like it makes it like a dog fight almost. So it's pretty exciting to kind of see that. You know, and be like, oh god, like you know, this kid is gonna bring it, and we both gonna bring it. You know, so it's gonna be a lot of fun.
So I know you can't reveal a whole lot when we talk about game plan and stuff like that, but how do you like the matchup in this one? Is this one that's really going to test your striking, or are we going to see you sort of exploit your ground game? Like I know you can't reveal a whole lot, but how do you sort of look at this one from a matchup perspective?
Oh man, it really don't matter to me. You know, like I told a lot of guys, it's like for me, it's like more of he's not he's one of the people who's probably gonna get the dog out of me. You know, it's like get it out there and really just let it out. You know, and I'm excited about that. You know, so it's like for me, it won't matter. Go striking ground, I really don't care. I was like, I feel like every fight I'm showing that I'm more well rounded than anything. So for me, it doesn't matter where the fight goes.
All right, and one last question. We'll let you go. Kind of an obvious one that you're going to hear a million times, but how do you see this fight playing out?
Like I said, man, it's gonna be a banger, especially on the feet. You know, on the feet, it's gonna be go all both ways. You know, so for me, it's like I don't know, man. We'll see where he takes it and where I take it. You know? So it just really depends on how both of us show up. So for me, I'm just excited, man.
All right, well, we're looking forward to it. It's going to be a great fight. Obviously, you know that. Thanks so much for the time, man. I really appreciate it.
Of course, man. Thank you for having me.